Live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Bringing you the news from Sri Lanka and across the world, it's your national news broadcast on ChannelEye Rupavahini Corporation. I am Siobhan Pereira.
And I am Natalia Virvadana, and we are going to bring you the headlines for tonight.
An inquiry into a colossal expenditure on carnivals. The Facets Sri Lanka International Gem and Jewellery Exhibition begins. China denies reports of the spread of a new virus. Prison's media spokesman reiterates that no special privileges for any prisoner. 3 suspects with a haul of 11 kilos of gold taken into Navy custody. Israel army intensifies Gaza attacks. Welcome back, and now for your local news in detail. Deputy Minister of Youth Affairs Eranga Gunasekara says a sum of 323 million rupees had been spent by the National Youth Services Council last year for conducting 14 musical shows named Smart Youth Exhibition and Night 2024. Now he further says that audit reports pertaining to these expenditures have been received. Nearly 68.16 million rupees had been spent for a musical concert at the Technical College in Kuliapitia. A further 64.98 million rupees had been spent on a similar musical display at the Mahiyangana Public Grounds in the Badulla district. Now, an estimated expenditure of a musical concert at the Muttaveli grounds in Jaffna had exceeded 49.1 million rupees. However, only 39 million rupees was actually spent on the event. 31.41 million rupees had also been utilized on a similar exhibition titled Smart Youth Night at the Samalana grounds in Galle. The NYSC had incurred an expenditure of 27.91 million rupees on a concert at the Bandarawala Municipal Grounds. A musical event was also held at the Maharagama Youth Services Centre at a cost of 16.66 million rupees. Now, a similar Smart Youth Night concert was also held at the Dambulla grounds, utilizing funds amounting to 15.08 million rupees. A sum of 14.83 million rupees was spent in a single instance for a beach concert held at a ground in Putlam. The Hinguragoda Smart Youth Concert was conducted at a cost of 14.83 million rupees. A further 14.57 million rupees was spent on a musical concert at the Racecourse grounds in Colombo. A similar concert at the Kettaram grounds had a cost to the council of 13.68 million rupees. The amount spent on a musical display at the Ampara Veerasinghe grounds was 9.49 million rupees. Another musical show was conducted at the Hatton Dunbar grounds, utilizing a sum of more than 234,000 rupees. However, more than 19 million rupees had been estimated for this event. A staggering 42.1 million rupees had been estimated for a musical concert at the Navaloka grounds in Valisara, but only 60,700 rupees had been actually spent on the event. It has also been pointed out that the allocations amounting to 15.40 million rupees had been approved for a Smart Youth Night concert at the Hinguragoda Public Grounds, and a sum of 13.1 million rupees had been paid for the event, according to the information received from the provincial basis. The announcer of the event was paid a sum of 500,000 rupees, while there was a receipt certifying the signature of the recipient. However, in the keys, Minister Eranga Gunasekara said that Harin and Ranil got together and spent the funds of the Youth Services Council on numerous projects with the objective of enhancing their political programs. They were engaged in political programs in every district in the island. The Smart Youth Night program was not disclosed properly how the monies were utilized. It had also become obvious that they faked bills and had been processed it to cover the actual expenditures. Normally, a provincial office of the Youth Services Council is entitled to spend less than 1 million rupees on an event of this nature. However, the laws had been changed to enable the spend to more than 3.5 million rupees on the so-called special projects. All these misappropriation of funds will be fully investigated.
International Gem and Jewellery Exhibition 2025 was inaugurated under the patronage of President Anurakumara Dissanayake at the Cinnamon Grand Colombo today. The President also visited and inspected the gem and jewellery stalls featured at the exhibition. Organised by the Sri Lanka Gem and Jewellery Association in collaboration with the National Gem and Jewellery Authority and the Export Development Board, this year marks the 31st edition of Asia's leading gem and jewellery exhibition. The event will continue until 6th of January. Delegations from China, India, the United States, Europe and several other countries, along with representatives from globally renowned gem and jewellery companies visiting Sri Lanka for the first time, are participating in the event. Additionally, local gem entrepreneurs from prominent industry hubs such as Ratnapura, Elahara, Beruwala, Ahaliyagoda, Galle and Colombo are showcasing their exceptional craftsmanship. The primary objective of the exhibition is to create business opportunities with traders, exporters and industry professionals worldwide, with the ambition of exceeding $1 billion in gem and jewellery exports. The event was graced by several dignitaries, including Sunil Handunethi, Minister of Industry and Enterprise Development Vijitha Herath, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Foreign Employment and Tourism, and Chaturanga Besingha, the Deputy Minister of Industry and Enterprise Development, along with ambassadors and other distinguished guests.
Now, China says all reports regarding the spread of a new virus in the country are false. The Chinese Foreign Ministry reiterates that it rejects reports regarding filling of Chinese hospitals with the patients infected with the new virus named HMPV. Foreign media reports have stated that a proliferation of a new virus is witnessed in China 5 years after the COVID-19 pandemic. Video scenes were circulated in social media channels of how Chinese hospitals were crowded with the patients of the HMPV virus, which was said to be spreading rapidly in China. The Chinese Foreign Ministry reiterates that there is no truth in such reports and also points out that there is a normal tendency among Chinese citizens to report more incidents of breathing-related diseases with the onset of the winter season. The ministry further says that in comparison to the figures recorded in the corresponding year, there is a marked decline in the number of patients of respiratory diseases. China also informs that foreigners need not have any unnecessary fears of travelling in China and guarantees their protection. Chinese foreign media spokesman Mao Ning says that the Chinese government is committed to the safety of the health of Chinese citizens as well as foreign tourists. She reiterates that the Chinese government has already issued the disease control and prevention guidelines with the aim of controlling the respiratory diseases. The human metapneumovirus, or the HMPV virus, was discovered first in the year 2001. Health specialists say that the disease characteristics of the virus is similar to the symptoms such as fever and breathing difficulties as experienced in other respiratory-related diseases. Meanwhile, Director of the Allergy, Immunology and Cell Biology Unit of the Sri Jayewardenepura University, Professor Chandima Jivandra, says there is no need to have any unnecessary fears regarding the human metapneumovirus or the HMPV. The director in an X message says that the new wave of respiratory diseases is no cause of concern. He points out that affliction of breathing infections is common among Chinese citizens during the winter season. This is not an epidemic threat and expressed hope that the situation would dissipate within a week or so. Professor Jivandra reiterates that small children and adults inflicted with the virus disease would be more careful of their health.
Commissioner of Prisons Operations and Intelligence and Prisons Media spokesman Gamini Dissanayake has told the media that it sternly rejects accusations being launched regarding the quality of facilities extended in certain prisoners in this prison. Media spokesman of the prisons Gamini Dissanayake said that in the preliminary investigations of the locations they could not discover of any instance of giving special facilities to individuals. He also said some persons making such accusations without admission to a prison hospital. The Human Rights Commission, the Prison Observation Committees and other parties are bound by their duties to inquire into the activities in the prisons. The Commission of Prisons said that they have never received any accusations in this regard from these institutions.
Now, one person was killed and another injured in a shooting incident that occurred in the Waligama Police Division at dawn today. The police says an unidentified group came in 3 motorcycles and shot at 5 persons walking on the Vallivella road in the Kapparatuta area. 2 persons injured in the incident were admitted to the Walana hospital, and one of them was reported to be dead on admission. The other victim was transferred to the Matara General Hospital for further treatment. It was also reported that the targeted group was returning from attending a funeral of one of the persons killed due to a fall of a bow tree branch on the Matara prison on the 1st of this month. The victim was a 26-year-old person and the injured is a 29-year-old resident of Kapparatuta. The cause of the shooting incident has not yet been found, and a special police team has been launched to apprehend the suspects.
The 77th Independence Commemoration Ceremony is scheduled to be conducted at the Independence Square premises in Colombo. A special discussion to organize the event was held at the Temple Trees recently. The meeting has taken place between the organizing committee of the 77th Independence Day celebration and Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya. On this occasion, attention has been focused on all organizational activities of the Independence Day commemoration, its security program, as well as on the cultural features to be presented on this day. The meeting was also attended by Ministers Professor Anil Jayantha Fernando, Dr. A.M.M.H. Abhiratna and Kumar Jayakodi. Prime Minister's Secretary Pradeep Saputantri and security officials were also present.
Now, Minister of Trade and Commerce Vasantha Samarasinha says that the Paddy Marketing Board and the Satasa will purchase the paddy harvest of the Maha season. He reiterates that the government is taking measures to end the rice shortages which occur from time to time, as well as to provide a guaranteed price to the farmer and also control the prices. The minister has made these remarks participating in an inspection tour of the government paddy storages in the Oyamadu area in Anuradhapura. He also said that the government will take steps to bring down the prices of consumer items. Minister Vasantha Samarasinha was also engaged in inquiring the shortcomings of the Tambuttegam Economic Centre yesterday. The problems faced by businessmen were also taken up for discussion on this occasion. The minister has pledged to extend solutions to these problems expeditiously. Minister Vasantha Samarasinha said the government is preparing to engage in the paddy purchasing process through the Paddy Marketing Board and the Satasa. He further said that such a mechanism would enable the government to intervene in the program. The minister has expressed the hope that this would pave the way to eliminate the rice shortages that are taking place in the country. Now, the need of an ordinary citizen to gain access to state or private institutions providing public services have become reiterated. It has been pointed out in many quarters that mechanism should be made available for each individual to fulfill his or her requirements in freedom. Yet it was observed many a time that in our country, in most instances, people are inclined to fulfill their services based upon their friendships and identities with the hierarchy. At present, at many government or private institutions providing public services are extending their assistance to the general public in an efficient manner based on their latest technologies. Yet in some instances, people are being subjected to difficulties. The public service providers should extend their service accurately and efficiently without any obstructions. This is a prime right of the general public. If the authorities continue to extend their services based on friendships and bribe-taking, it amounts to devaluing the rights of the people.
The police headquarters has issued a clarification regarding a fake audio recording circulating on social media. The recording falsely claims to be a special notification by the Sri Lanka police to the public linked to the government's Clean Sri Lanka 2025 program. The audio alleges that the public must ensure the cleanliness of areas in front of their homes and references a section of the police ordinance warning of legal action for non-compliance after 15th January 2025. The police media division confirms that the audio is fraudulent and no such announcement has been made. Investigations have been initiated to take legal action against the individual responsible for creating and distributing the recording.
Now, Minister Sunil Handunethi says a program is underway to provide brown sugar at a reasonable price. He has made these remarks participating in an observation tour in Sevanagala. Minister Sunil Handunethi said that a problem has arisen regarding selling brown sugar, which is more healthy than the white sugar. He also said that no import tax is being levied on white sugar, but a value-added tax is imposed on brown sugar production. There is an 18% VAT on brown sugar. In the common market, a 1 kilogram of white sugar is being sold for 220 rupees and 1 kilogram of brown sugar for 360 rupees. The white sugar being processed through the application of chemicals to remove the nutritious value of brown sugar.
And now more local news in brief. Chinese ambassador in Sri Lanka, Kee Zenong, says that the Chinese visit of Sri Lanka's new president will help to consolidate bilateral relations. He has expressed these remarks at a meeting with Speaker Dr. Jagat Wickramaratne. The meeting has also focused attention on further strengthening relationship between the legislatures of the two countries via the Sri Lanka-China exchange program. A plan is being implemented to streamline and make the treatment services more efficient at the Sri Javardhanapura General Hospital through modernizing of all services. Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa has conducted talks with the administrative authority of the Sri Javardhanapura General Hospital in this connection. The Health Minister was recently engaged in a special inspection tour at the hospital with the objective of looking into expanding services on the completion of 40 years of activities at the hospital. Minister of Environment Dr. Dhammika Pattabende has met British High Commissioner in Sri Lanka Andrew Patrick at his ministry recently. The meeting has focused attention on the human-elephant conflict, which obstructs biodiversity, polluting of the environment, climatic changes, and to minimize its harmful effects. The Navy has apprehended a dinghy craft engaged in illegal transportation of stock of gold along with 3 suspects. The Navy says the raid carried out in the Battalangundu Sea area in Kalpitiya has led to the recovery of 11 kilos and 300 grams of gold. A special program to inspect vehicles has been carried out in many parts of the island today as well. The Sri Lanka Police is conducting the program with the objective of minimizing road accidents. Accordingly, vehicle inspections are being conducted on roads continuously. A Valampuri conch shell believed to have been missing from a viharya in Aladuwa in Nodangoda Kalutara was found in a well of the viharya itself. The police is focusing special attention to arrest the robber of this precious object, but he is supposed to have fled the area. The Meteorology Department forecast intermittent or thunder showers in the western Sabaragamuwa and central provinces as well as in the Galle and Matara districts tonight. In certain locations, heavy rainfall exceeding 100 mm is expected. The meteorological report adds that few rounds of rainfall could also be anticipated in the Uva province. Fairly strong winds of the speed of between 30 to 40 km per hour may occur from time to time in the northern, eastern, north central and northwestern provinces and also in the Hambantota district. The thunder showers could usually take place at times of provincially strong winds. The department further informs the general public to take precautions to minimize the accidents caused as a result of strong winds and lightning. The wind speed in the sea areas beyond the coast from Colombo to Kankasanturai via Putlam could increase at times to 50 to 55 km per hour. As a result, the sea would turn rough. The Meteorology Department also predicts of similar strong intermittent winds, packing up to speeds of 40 to 50 km per hour in the coastal belt extending from Kankasanturai to Trincomalee as well as from Batticaloa to Matara via Hambantota. The incessant rains in the Polonnaruwa district have increased the water capacity in the main tanks in the district by 98%. Our correspondent further says that many small reservoirs in the district area are in the process of overflowing.
Now, the Pinnavela Elephant Orphanage has recorded an income of 956 million rupees last year. Deputy Director of the Institute, Mihiran Madhavela, says that the December revenue alone amounted to 107 million rupees. This year marks completion of 50 years of the commencement of the Pinnavela Elephant Conservation Centre. Most of the elephants present at the centre were born at the orphanage itself. This centre has become popular worldwide as a location to grant sanctuary to elephants. At the Pinnavela orphanage, at present 86 elephants could be witnessed in a single instance. Deputy Director Madhavela also says large groups of local and foreign tourists are visiting the sanctuary on a daily basis.
And I like Sri Lanka, and I like mostly elephants. Sri Lanka is a nice country, very green and very beautiful for me.
Funeral of late Dr. J.R.P. Suryaperuma is scheduled to be conducted at the General Cemetery, Borella, tomorrow. He has passed away at the age of 96 years. J.R.P. Suryaperuma was born on the 8th of June 1928. He was an active politician and initially involved in the politics of the United National Party. Later on, he had joined the Sri Lanka Freedom Party. In the 1970 general election, he had contested from the UNP and later on switched on as the Tadigam electorate organizer of the SLFP. In the 1980 decade, he had functioned as the General Secretary of the SLFP. Suryaperuma was appointed as a nationalist MP during the regime of the United People's Freedom Alliance from 2010 to 2015. He was more popular among the people as an intellectual. Dr. Suryaperuma was a university lecturer and a foreign news analyst. He had earned a higher reputation as an activist who had utilized the electronic media to direct the society on a correct path. The remains of the late politician and educationist are kept at the Jayaratna Florists in Borella, and the funeral will take place at 4:30 p.m. tomorrow. And we'll bring you foreign news right after this break.
மனிதாபிமானத்தின் கடமையாகும். உயிரொன்று, உயிரொன்று, உயிரொன்று. இதுதான் ஒலி. விடுங்க வழி.
And we are back with foreign news. A Palestinian family of 11, including 7 children, are among at least 28 Palestinians killed as the Israeli military's intensified attacks on the war-battered Gaza Strip enter a third day. Amnesty International says Israel's detention of the director of the Kamal Adwan Hospital, Dr. Hassam Abu Safia, is emblematic of the genocidal intent in Israel's broad attempts to annihilate Gaza's healthcare sector. At least 61 Palestinians have been killed in Gaza since dawn, with Israeli forces conducting heavy bombardment in areas such as Khan Yunis, the Nusayrat refugee camp, Gaza City, and the safe zone of Al-Mawazi. As talks resume in Qatar, senior Hamas official Bassem Naim says the Palestinian group is serious about a ceasefire deal, the withdrawal of Israeli forces from Gaza, and returning the enclave's population to their homes. Israel's war on Gaza has so far killed at least 45,658 Palestinians and wounded 108,583 since 7th October 2023. At least 1,139 people were killed in Israel during the Hamas-led attacks that day and more than 200 taken captive.
Hundreds of people in the rural area of Ethiopia, 165 kilometers northeast of the capital, Addis Ababa, have been leaving their homes in panic as a nearby volcano has been showing signs of a possible eruption. The Ethiopian Geological Institute posted a video on its Facebook page showing what appeared to be dust and smoke emerging from a volcano in a wash fentel in Afar region. Fana Broadcasting, citing a regional administrator in Afar, reported that authorities had evacuated residents out of the affected area, which is roughly 165 kilometers from the capital Addis Ababa. The area experiencing volcanic activity has also been prone to earthquakes and tremors in recent months. The commissioner of the Ethiopian Disaster Risk Management Commission said it was too early to label the activity as an eruption, but authorities were not taking chances.
And now moving to South Korea, the South Korean investigators again asked the country's acting president to order the Presidential Security Service to comply with an arrest warrant for impeached President Yoon Suk-yeol. The Security Service, along with military troops, prevented prosecutors from arresting Yoon Suk-yeol in a 6-hour standoff inside Yoon's compound yesterday. The investigators secured the warrant to arrest Yoon over his brief declaration of martial law last month. The Corruption Investigation Office of high-ranking officials, which is investigating the case, said it had again asked acting President Choi Sang-mok, the nation's finance minister, to order the Presidential Security Service to cooperate with the warrant. Meanwhile, members of the Korean Confederation of Trade Unions, South Korea's largest umbrella union, attempted to march to Yoon's residence to protest against him, but was blocked by police. The union said 2 of its members were arrested and several others were injured in scuffles with the police today. Investigators could still make another bid to arrest Yoon before the court order expires on Monday. It is reported that if the warrant lapses, investigators may also apply for another.
Tomiko Ituka, a Japanese woman who was the world's oldest person according to the Guinness World Records, has died at the age of 116. Tomiko Ituka has died on December 29th at a care home in Ashiya, in the Hyogo Prefecture, central Japan. Ituka, who loved bananas and a yogurt-flavored Japanese drink called kalpis, was born on 23rd May 1908. According to the Guinness World Records book, she had married at 20 and had 2 daughters and 2 sons. Ituka managed the office of her husband's textile factory during World War II. She lived alone in Nara after her husband died in 1979. She is survived by 1 son and 1 daughter and 5 grandchildren. Ituka has not only lived through the world wars but also pandemics as well as technological breakthroughs. According to the Gerontology Research Group, the world's oldest person now is 116-year-old Brazilian nun Ina Canabaro Lucas, who was born 16 days after Ituka.
Now into sports news. The CRNFC team has emerged victorious against the Army team in an inter-club league rugby tournament match played at the CRNFC grounds yesterday. The CRNFC team has displayed its excellent potential since the beginning of the match and was leading 14-5 at half-time. In the second half as well as the CR team added 24 points. The final score was CRNFC 38 and Army 10. The winners' points came in the form of 4 goals and 2 tries.
And that was a look at their news here at Sri Lanka Rupavahini Corporation. I am Siobhan Pereira together with Natalia Veerawardena. Wish you a pleasant evening and a pleasant weekend.
Good night.